Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you are going to find yourself listening to this. I just wanted to give you a pop up moment here from uh, my huddle time, my meditation time, my conversation peace time. I just wanted to come in and give you a little pop up uh, lesson on mindfulness. Mindfulness. I'm Coach Jay, and I'm with Thrive Life Coach. And this morning I woke up with this uh, feeling in my spirit, in my mind. And, we can be in the practice of rushing and taking care of business and doing things, and we miss the moment of mindfulness. We can become so tunnel vision, and mindfulness leaves us. We don't really mean any harm, but at the same time, we are not aware. We are not present in the moment. We're not conscious of the people, places, and things that is around us. So we need to practice mindfulness as we go about our daily routine and the things that we do on a regular basis. And when we practice mindfulness, we're not going to be just involved with the people that are familiar to us. We're not going to be involved with just those that we know and people that we have casual acquaintance or business transactions that must take place between us and people. But we're going to be so mindful that we can even engage and entreat a stranger. You know, simple little things of mindfulness is really kind of like ministry. It's really like impacting the world around you. You know, a simple good morning, how are you? A simple smile, a simple hello can really break the ice in somebody's life. That person next to you or present in the room that you didn't speak to because you didn't know could be contemplating suicide. Today could be in their minds, they could say, this is my last day, and I'm going to go home, and I'm going to take my life. Your simple smile and mindfulness of saying hello and being aware and familiar with the people that are in the room can also, maybe someone may be contemplating hurting others, but because you say hello, because you're mindful, because you acknowledge the people that are in your presence and in the room, that could change a person's destination or their behavior by those simple acts. So mindfulness is so very, very important. We don't really know what's happening to the person next to us in the room. We're all going through something that people may not even be aware of. That person next to you could be extremely depressed. That person could be hurting on the inside. That person could be saying, I wish somebody would see me. Surely, as African Americans, male and female, we understand about sometimes having to be invisible, having not to be seen, having not being included, having not being felt worthy. And so I think that today, hashtag, we need to be mindful. We need to be mindful to say to people, hey, I see you. Hey, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. You're going to be okay. I think we need to engage people, to look them in the eyes and smile. I was in the grocery store the other day, and I was walking down the aisle, and there was another woman who looked just like me. And she had on a mask, and I had on a mask. So we don't really get to see smiles anymore because we're all masked up. But that mindfulness that we acknowledged, we're here. I'm here. You're here. You're okay. I don't know you, but we're going to be okay. We looked at each other in the eyes. Having had this mask and being in this pandemic of COVID-19 and racism, we looked each other in the eye as we passed each other and our eyes talked. There was a conversation that I had with that woman passing down just the grocery store aisle. And let me tell you, it was a warm hug, a warm feeling from the sun, a warm feeling from God, that somebody looked at me and said in their eyes, "You're going to be okay. I see you, sister. You here. I am here. Dear God, I'm here." So we need to be mindful. People are hurting all around us, and we are still going about life as business as usual. We are still absolved with just the people we hang with. We are still just concerned about our four and no more. This has always been my message wherever I've been in my life. You can't just be concerned about my four and no more. I even wear a t-shirt that says, "I am my sister's keeper." I believe in that. I think we need to start living that. In this movement, in this moment of our life, we need to be people friendly, especially to one another who look like us. I'm not advocating hate. I'm not advocating anti anybody. But because of the wounds, the swords, the knives, the bullet wounds, the marks that are on our back, when we see each other, we need to embrace each other with our eyes. You know, you can tell a smile even behind a mask. The energy and the warmth that we give when we see one another, to tell people they're going to make it. We're going to be okay. We're in this together. Mindfulness. I'm going to give you one principle. And that principle is to practice purposeful observation. We've got to be observant as we're going out in the world and going about our lives in this pandemic called racism. We're going to have to practice purposeful observation. That's mindfulness. We need to be aware of our surroundings. Who is in the room? And who are you? We got to practice this. We can't put our head down. We got to lift our head up. And we're going to have to straighten our backs. And we're going to have to acknowledge each other. We got to kill the hater mentality and think that people are hating us, that really aren't the ones that's really hating us. We are not each other's enemy. And so our mindfulness to then become a community and a team. Hashtag team mindfulness. We've got to have that now. We've got to be able to be mindful. We've got to practice purposeful observation. And you know what that is too? Purposeful observation is not just with people, but it's also with nature. We're going to have to take time to smell the roses. I know it's a corny cliche, but you know, we need to take time to observe nature, animals. We need to observe the trees. We need to observe the clouds. We need to observe the moon. Did you see the moon the other day? We need to be observing sunrises and sunsets. So we have to get out and get in touch and involved with the world that is around us in nature. So practicing purposeful observation is everything. Everything should not just be in our presence and we take it all for granted. You know, as I'm sitting here thinking, mindfulness or purposeful observation kind of brings you to thankfulness. Because if I acknowledge you and I acknowledge the earth, you can't help but have a sense of I'm thankful. I'm thankful. This is Thankful Thursday. And I think that we need to do that. We cannot hold our heads down, and we can't walk in fear, but we need to be mindful to acknowledge the presence of another human being. You know, I was raised that I was told it doesn't hurt to say, good morning, how are you doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know, we get so busy and we say those words sometimes, or we go about giving a shout out to the people we know that we dismiss somebody that's in that room that may be hurting. Let's be mindful. We all have wounds in us because of what we're experiencing. So we want to be mindful to be able to acknowledge others that are in the room. Looking people in the eye and smiling. Even though we're masked up and we can't see the smiles, but don't you know a smile is so powerful that you can tell when someone is smiling even behind a mask? I was in the grocery store shopping the other day, and there was another woman coming down the aisle, and she looked like me. And that was important to me in that moment. She looked at me, and I looked at her. And there was something in our eyes when we embraced and looked at each other. Though we were masked up, we had our eyes, and our eyes looked at each other as to say, I see you, sis. I see you, sis. You can make it. You can make it. I'ma make it. You're okay? I'm okay. Let's keep moving forward. That was a moment for me that resonated. Value and worth. Hashtag worth. And it was so important. It was life-giving and life-sustaining. In that moment of mindfulness and purposeful observation, it gave me the peace to be in the grocery store to finish my shopping, as I didn't know my surroundings and who was around me. I'm telling you, mindfulness is healing. I don't know we're all wounded. I don't know your wounds, but we're all wounded. And we need to be in this place of being mindfulness. We don't know what the other person is going through. And so if we can be mindful, we can be encouraging with our eyes, with acknowledging people that are present in our room, that are not the people we drove there with, not the people of who we're connected with, not who we're familiar with, but those that we don't know. You know, if we're really mindful, we can begin to grow this movement, this momentum. We can help heal wounds. We can help bring people from the break of the devastation of quitting, of giving up, of nervous breakdowns. There's so much we can do in being mindful. So I want to encourage people to be mindful. The smile is great. It can pierce darkness. And we can smile with our eyes. And certainly if we have the opportunity to be in a room full of people that we don't know, we need to be mindful to acknowledge them. We as African American people, we should know this, both male and female, what it feels like to be invisible and not seen and not heard. I think moving forward today, we can no longer have this, we are not interested in speaking to one another when we're in the presence of one another. And I don't care if that's in a Zoom room, a chat room, a direct message, walking down the street, shopping down the aisles in the grocery store. I don't care where we're at. We need to have mindfulness. We need to smile and acknowledge the value of another human being, living soul that's present. with us in that moment, be it virtual, be it literal, whatever it is. Mindfulness, practicing purposeful observation. Here's a quote, and I'm going to close. It says, "The most precious gift we can offer others is our presence, my Lord." When mindfulness embraces those around us with the presence of us, they will bloom like flowers. Well, a lot to think about. This pop-up moment that we talked about mindfulness. Please, let's be mindful. We're all wounded and hurt. We're all scared and fearful. We don't know where the enemy is and where trouble may come. In fact, we're living in a climate and time we don't know if we're going to make it home the very same day. And that could mean COVID-19 can overtake us, or the pandemic of racism. Whatever it is, let's not take for granted. Let's not be mindful. Let's not hold our heads down, but hold our heads up and straighten our back and look people in the eye and be mindful. You matter. You're going to make it. I'm going to make it. We're not okay now, but we're moving forward. And we need to understand that we will overcome. Thank you. Until next time, bye-bye.